If you're a veteran and wonder what shots you received, not not these, but these, you've come to the right place. Howdy, everybody. My name is Israel, and you're on Forward March. Today, we're going to do is last week I was wondering, I was thinking to myself, man, I wonder what kind of shots I've gotten. You know what I'm talking about? And, I was looking from a medical record. I have it somewhere. But anyway, so I did there are some disclaimers. There's some regions where you get some different shots, but this is what I came up with here when I searched for the vaccinations that military service members get. Here we go. Adenovirus vaccine types 4 and 7 oral. There's 11 too, by the way. Adenovirus vaccine types 4 and 7 oral live vaccine. So we're just going to go briefly through these. Just depending on the era that you enlisted or you commissioned, there is some different vaccinations that you would have got. So here it goes. Number one, adenovirus vaccine types 4 and 7 oral live vaccine prevents acute respiratory disease, ARD, from adenovirus, a common cause of fever, sore throat, cough, and pneumonia in crowded training environments. Responsible for up to 80% of recruit illnesses pre-vaccine. And just to back up, I remember when I went into boot camp, the double, the pneumatic, they're just kind of like a bunch of recruits lined up and just getting these shots, just ta ta ta, like double, on each side. And I don't know. Comment on what how you got them. I don't know if they went away from that, but I remember it was just like quick, like a bunch of recruits. This is Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, and bam, we're out of there. There was that one shot down here, talking about where you had to kind of like tell us to rock back and forth to work it out. But anyway, go on the list. So testing and approval. FDA approved only for military use after phase 3 trials in recruits showed 60 to 90% efficacy and good safety. Mild side effects like stomach upset. Military study remix. Military studies confirmed it cut ARD by 60% post 2011 trials verified no long-term risks. Anthrax. I know I got this one. Anthrax vaccine absorbed AVA Biothrax prevents anthrax. It's number 2, by the way. You can see that. Bacillus anthracis, a bacterial infection causing skin ulcers, respiratory failure, or death. Key bioweapon threat from 2001 attacks. Protects against cuteness and inhalation forms. Duration in military use. Licensed 1970, but military programs anthrax vaccine immunization program AVIP started 1997 for Gulf War troops at risk of biowarfare. Mandated for 2.4 million personnel until 2010, scaled back due to lawsuits. Now for high risk roles deployments, e.g., Central Command, used for 55 years overall. So I know for a fact, like I said, I got that one, and it's a series of shots. I don't remember if it was before Iraq or Afghanistan. I don't remember, but it was for one of those. And that was number 2. FDA licensed 1970 after trials in textile workers. High exposure efficacy via animal rule. 90% survival in animal inhalation models. As human challenge unethical. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Phase 3 human trials, thousands dosed, showed 92.5 protection against skin anthrax with mild side effects, e.g., arm soreness. DoD studies 2 million doses found no chronic issues, monitored via CDC's anthrax vaccine research program. Okay, I guess we'll have to take that for truth. Hepatitis A prevents hepatitis A virus have a liver infection spread via contaminated food water, causing jaundice, fatigue, and severe illness. Common in deployments to endemic areas. Bam, got that one too. Licensed 1995, mandated for all recruits since 1996. Used 30 years with booster for travel. Yeah, and I remember that your med pros, uh, probably an Army term, but I'm pretty sure every service has that type of reporting system that lets commanders know whether a soldier or unit how readily deployable they are, and that's one measure is the vaccinations that folks are due or have. And anyway, yeah, you're like red non-deployable if you don't get certain vaccinations. So hepatitis B prevents hepatitis B, bloodborne liver infection. So very similar to the Hep A. And I'm not in the medical profession, so I don't know, but um, this is just some interesting stuff for me because I'm kind of nerd out sometimes on what's living in my body or been in my body. Influenza vaccine, annual flu shot. Yeah, and so now I don't, personally, I don't take this anymore. I know the VA's always just jamming me up. Flu season, flu season, flu season. I'm like, no, 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 no. Uh, yeah. So there it is. If you want to read that, measles, mumps. So MMR vaccine prevents measles, rash, fever, pneumonia, mumps, swollen glands, meningitis, rubella, birth defects, highly contagious in barracks. Duration and military use. Licensed in 1971. Combined MMR mandated since 1971 for recruits. 2 doses. Used 55 years. Testing approval. The FDA approved after separate trials 1963 measles vaccines in 10,000 kids showed 90% efficacy. Combined MMR phase 3 trials confirmed safety. Military outbreaks dropped 99% post mandate. Wow. That's pretty good. Meningococcal vaccine. I think I pronounced that right. Prevents meningococcal remix meningococcal disease. That's a mouthful, man. Rapid and fatal in dorms. Outbreak hit recruits hard pre-vaccine. Duration of military use. Licensed in 2005. Conjugate version mandated for recruits since 2006. 1 dose bolster at 16, used for 20 years. FDA approved after phase 3 trials showing 85 to 90% efficacy against targeted strains. And polio, IPV inactivated, prevents poliomyelitis, paralysis from poliovirus, eradicated in U.S. but risk abroad. Duration in military use, licensed 1955, mandated since 1950s for global ops, used for 70 years, 4 doses. Testing approval, massive 1954 field trials, 8.1 million kids, showed 80 to 90% efficacy, FDA approved with lifelong immunity data. Smallpox, prevents smallpox, eradicated in 1980, but bioweapon concerns causes rash, fever, 30% fatality. Variolation since 1977. Washington's mandate modern vaccine since 1900s. Routine until 1972. Resumed 2002 for high risk special ops. Used 250 years intermittently. Number 10. Tetanus. Diphtheria pertussis vaccine. Prevents tetanus, lockjaw from soil bacteria. Diphtheria, throat infection, pertussis, whooping cough, wounds and coughing outbreak in field. Duration military use. Tetanus is World War I, 1914. Full Tdap since 2005. Mandate boosters every 10 years. Used for 110 years. Wow, that's been a while. FDA approved after trial showed 90% efficacy for tetanus, diphtheria. For pertussis, military use, refined dosing for durability. Number 11, varicella chickenpox vaccine. Varicella zoster virus causing itchy rash and complications like pneumonia in adults. Duration in military use, licensed 1995, mandated since 2005 for susceptibles, 2 doses, used 30 years. Testing approval, phase 3 trials, 9,000 kids, adults showed 85 to 90% efficacy, safe with mild rash in 5%. So I got this one as a kid, and I still got it, the chicken pox. So I got it as a I think it was an older kid. I was like 15 or 16 years old. It was bad. just like, oh, I'll scratch up my face. But there it is. Those 11, and again, disclaimer is that depending on when someone went in, those would change. But from what I gather, these are the 11 that folks get that want to join. And just tell me your experience, whether it was the really nice, like, they're just like, you gotta feel a little prick, right? A little poke. Um, or is it the double, pow, like one person on each on each side of you, and you get jammed up like that. Yeah, and that was my experience in the Marine Corps. In the Army, I did get some vaccines when I went in through the initial entry training, and then after those initial shots, then throughout your career, you just get those annual shots, vaccinations, whatever that just come with the territory. It just becomes a part of your your annual screening and shots, and your dental work and all that stuff. But just tell me your experience if you want to share. That's all I have for you today. Take care of yourself. Watch One Another 6, and rest in peace, Charlie. Later.